Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Brother Sister Show, a family-owned and operated podcast where two siblings keep in touch by talking about movies. I'm Anthony. I'm joined here with my co-host, Livia. And
Hello.
Today, we're talking about two movies. I kind of like this format where we just talk about whatever.
Me too.
Like
Now that
I
we're
feel like
able to go to the movies, I feel like we've just been going at it.
Yeah, just free
every
range.
weekend.
Because I feel like there's no reason to constrain ourselves to talk about one movie. I mean, we kind of already talked about what we watched beforehand. Anyways, This week we're talking about House of Gucci and Encanto.
Very
Solid.
similar movies.
Yeah, in the same vein.
Mm-hmm.
Just feel good. Well, we'll get to that. Normally, we catch up before we talk about the movies for the specific part or episode. So, what's up? What's happening? What's popping?
I cut my bangs. They're kind of uneven, but with curly hair, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, that's my
honestly,
newest thing.
I couldn't tell. I don't know. I think it's just because of the curly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like this side, I need to cut a little bit more. I also just need to get a haircut, but I cut my bangs myself. That's the newest thing. What else? Christmas shopping. So spending too much money. Oh, we had Thanksgiving. Wait. Oh yeah, we didn't. I forgot that happened between the time we recorded and now. Yeah, Thanksgiving was fine. I don't know, holidays are getting kind of weird now that I don't know if you feel this yet, but when you get older, they just don't really matter as much anymore.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting to that point.
I mean, it's nice the only thing that's nice is that we get to, see our family, but then it just makes me think, oh, I just don't make enough of an effort to do it, to see them, regular times now that I live here. So, yeah, I guess I'll try to do that more so the novelty will wear off. But I do like Christmas now that I'm getting into getting gifts for people. I'm typically a really good gift giver. It's the only annoying thing is that I don't get ideas until the last minute. I don't get really good ideas till last minute, or I get really good ideas only for certain people, and then you can tell when I start giving gifts, and I'm it's I'm really excited for the gift I got you, but I truly have no idea what to get Homer. And when I give him something, I'm sure it'll be fine, but you can tell oh, she had no idea what to do. So that's the only annoying thing.
Yeah,
and then people get competitive too with their gifts. When you give a really good one and they're like, "Fuck, I don't want to give you mine."
Yeah, I'm nervous because I have to give you a really good gift now because
I don't think you can top mine. I can imagine. Well, I can't really imagine a way. Maybe. But then here's a problem. Is there's two things with me. One, I think I hype up stuff too much, or maybe not, because I feel like sometimes when I hype up at least a gift that I give somebody, it is usually pretty good. The second thing is that I'm really bad at surprises because I just want to tell you what I got you, but then I know if I wait, the payoff is better because then I get to see your reaction. And
That's
especially this year, because it's truly something that I don't think you would have ever thought I would have gotten you or even found.
Well,
See, I'm
excited.
hyping it up even more. Because you told me what you wanted, and I was I didn't even pay attention to it at all.
That's fair.
But, yeah. But then, then there's Homer. There's certain people where I'm there's I know a category to get certain people like him, but it's hard to, I don't know. It's what do you get the man that has everything,
He does have everything.
He gets what he wants, it's not if he wants something, he'll just buy it himself. So it gets increasingly hard to get him something. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm getting more into the holiday spirit now because of that. And I think too, I've never decorated my my apartment before whenever I started moving out, when I first moved out and lived by myself. Oh, and you saw it. Sebastian and I started to try to do some decorations, and we have a tree, which does feel very festive. So if anybody's able to get a tree, highly recommend. One thing though, a tip for pet owners, I didn't realize that pine trees are toxic to animals. I don't know if it's just cats, But I think it's specifically cats. I don't know about dogs, but we didn't get a real one, and I'm glad we didn't because of that. But yeah, sorry, I had to burp. But yeah, so I'm also gonna do that 12 days. I don't know if it's 12 or 25 because I got kind of confused about when you're supposed to start. Because I was like, oh, it doesn't make sense to start on the 1st, right? Because then what do I do from the 12th to the 25th?
No, start on the 13th. That way, it's like the 12 days of Christmas. Because that's the whole thing. That's the whole Christmas thing is 12 days of it, like preparing for it.
I guess I don't really understand that. Like maybe I need to do research on what the point of that is because I don't. It seems so
song,
random,
right?
Oh, but like, where does that even come from?
That I don't know.
That's what I mean. I know it's from the song, but like, why?
If you were really into it and you were like following the song, you'd watch the same amount of movies that day. So you'd watch on day 12. You'd watch 12 movies.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like 5. Like if I can follow the theme of whatever it was. So like 5 golden rings is one of them, right?
Oh,
then I would have to find something like maybe I could do like Shang-Chi because that's something to do that has it's bracelets
or like Sonic,
the rings or Sonic. That'd be funner. I kind of now want to do that.
I mean you could do that, or
no, I want to get into the holiday spirit. And I have a list of 12 Christmas movies I've never seen.
That's good. That's the holiday spirit. Me on the other hand, like I don't feel like super festive, but it does feel like my first adult like holiday season. You know, because I'm like splitting up my time with like our family and Kayla's family. And I don't know if the pandemic is a factor in this, but it just I feel like more of an adult than ever before, especially just with this whole semester. You know, it's like I said, the pandemic is not over, but in the school's eyes it's over, and we're still going in person, and I'm like actually commuting, and then I go home for Thanksgiving break, and it's, I don't know, it feels super weird. Like I feel like a true college person, and I don't know why I didn't have that experience or feel that during my first 2 years when I actually lived on campus. Super
you know
weird.
what it is, or you know what my hypothesis is you have a job offer. Like you're not working it yet, but you like secured that.
Oh.
So maybe that's what I think. I mean, pandemic, sure, but like you had to kind of. There's a lot of ways this year they had to take care of you and you know it's you and Kayla, but you and your family that you would have never had to before. I mean, you had to like there was some adultness and you know keeping both of you alive during the freeze, right? So like there's like certain things that you realize it's only you. You know, you are the person that has to deal with all this shit. It gets even like there's ways that it amplifies. Like the first one is when you get a big girl job, which is you're not working it yet, but you have it and you're preparing for it. The second time is when you first like move in and you have to keep your own home. You're kind of doing that now, but like once you live in your own place with just the two of you, it gets a little bit different because it's, you know, you get to like, you don't have to rely on a roommate to do the dishes. You have to be the person to do them. Or your roommate is the other person. And then the third time is when you get a dog. That changes, like truly, this is going to sound so dumb. I'm sure it changes even more when you have a kid. But even more than getting a cat, getting a dog changed so much. Because it's like dogs, cats are, they self-sustaining. At least if you get I don't want to say a good one, but like if you get one of those.
If you get one of the good ones.
If like.
Not the shitty ass ones that need all this care.
Exactly. Oh God, that's mean. No, okay. So if you get a cat that's like, you know, just like a run of the mill cat, they kind of just take care of themselves. Dogs, it seems like they want to do everything in their power to like murder themselves. So you have to constantly make sure it's not hurting itself. And so it feels like having, I mean, I had, like we talked about it, like I had this kind of a very smaller version of what I assume postpartum is with a fucking puppy. And so much changes with that. And it just feels like like you have to change your schedule, you have to get a dog sitter. There's like so many things. And sorry, going on a rant, but like that, I think that's what it is you're just feeling the layers of being an adult. Because when you're in college and you're living in your dorm by yourself, you still like, it still feels like you're in, you know, you're in your parents' house in their room. But like,
right.
Yeah. So it gets worse and also better from here. There's a lot of adulthood things I really like, but then there's certain times where I'm like, God, I wish I was I wish I was 12 and I didn't have to give a shit about anything but myself.
Yeah, I'm getting a glimpse of that, and I feel very fortunate enough to like not have to work during the semester, because I feel like that the like hatred towards adulthood would be just amplified if I did work right now. But I have a little bit more freedom to just
maybe the money's
do what
nice.
I want, do this.
Yeah, and for people like me that like routines, it's nice for that. But
that's true.
Yeah. Are you doing anything else to get into holiday spirit? I don't know if that was like holiday spirit talk though.
Kinda. No, not really. I mean, I haven't really started Christmas shopping. I should. I haven't started transitioning into like the Christmas movies, because I feel like there will come a time where I like only watch Christmas movies. But no, not yet.
It sounds so ominous.
I can feel it.
Like the classics.
Yeah,
this is the time where I need to figure out. Oh yeah, I think that so good segue into what I was about to say. That I'm figuring out the Christmas movies that Sebastian's never seen, because this is the first Christmas we've lived together. And I think he's never seen Night Before Christmas before, and I haven't seen it in a very long time. And I was gonna make him watch it during like Halloween, but he was like, "No, I think we have to. It sounds like I have to watch it during Christmas." And I was like, "Yeah, probably." But yeah, I need to ask him. There's so many movies that make up my Christmas. Like that one, I didn't even watch Christmas Vacation last year, I don't think. Which is weird.
I did. You got a Christmas Story.
I don't like Christmas Story. I refuse to watch that movie. I hate that movie so much with a passion. That's number 2. Number 1, do you want to guess the number 1 Christmas movie I hate with a burning passion? But this one I've never even fully seen before, but I hate it so much.
I want to say like Jim Carrey's The Grinch.
Nope. I like that movie.
Oh, okay.
Polar Express. Fuck that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Straight up fuck that movie. I hate that movie so much.
I will, on the record, I will never watch that movie again.
That movie can burn in hell.
Yeah, you'd have to like at gunpoint to make me watch that movie, I swear. I honestly, I've never seen it in its entirety.
Oh, you know what we should do? I can't believe we've never done this before, but we need to make a list of movies that we hate. Like movies that we hate with a burning passion, or it could just be that movie. And maybe the episode that we do for Christmas, whoever loses Family Tree has to watch the Polar Express. The stakes are high because I fucking hate that movie.
Yeah, I hate that movie too. It just makes me feel gross. We need to do that. Yeah, we'll do that. Gross. So what have you been watching?
We have to like the stakes have to be like, maybe just, or I don't know.
No, that's
maybe we have
some
somebody else pick. I don't know. We'll see. What movies? I'm really bad at logging them, but I logged a few on Letterboxd. There's some I didn't put reviews for because I just like rewatched them. I already did. Let me see. So I watched Ever After. Have you heard of that movie?
I think so.
It's you know what? That'll be the next movie I make you watch, because it's kind of like a Cinderella story, but it's actually like the Cinderella story as it was, or I don't know if it's as it actually happened. I don't think it's real, but like realistically, I guess. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's pretty good.
With Drew Barrymore? Okay, no, yeah. I haven't.
Okay. That one's pretty good, but I feel like I need to make you watch like all the Cinderella canon at this point.
Gross.
I also watched another classic, While You Were Sleeping. Have you seen that one?
Oh, I was like, when were we together while you were watching something while I was sleeping?
No, it's so literally called While You Were Sleeping.
No,
it's
I
kind
don't
of,
think
I'm sure it's like problematic right now because like if at this point in time, because it is creepy like that. So it's, the premise is this girl, Sandra Bullock, she from afar is in love with this guy just because he's hot. Because she's like at the subway, you know how they have the cards now? I think back in the day they used to have somebody that took tokens and let you through.
Right.
And so I'm sure they have those still, but she was basically, that was her job. And this guy he would commute to work on the train that she worked at. And like from afar, she was in love with him. And then there was this incident where he like fell on the train tracks because somebody was like mugged him and she saved him. And there's confusion at the hospital where they think that she's engaged to him. And so she like spends the holidays. It is like a holiday movie. It's like she spends the holidays with his family while he's sleep. Like all this happens while you were sleeping. And she like, I mean, it's not really a spoiler because it's on the fucking movie poster, but she like kind of falls in love with his brother instead because she doesn't really know him. So like, yeah, it's kind of cute. I didn't mind it.
That's an interesting premise.
I think you might like it. It's cute. I think Kayla, if she likes, romantic movies like that, if she hasn't seen it already, she'd probably like it. Especially because one of the leads is very cute. Easy on the eyes. Another one two other that I forgot to log is Ella Enchanted. Have you seen that movie?
No.
Oh my God. That's
I can
that's a
confidently
fucking classic. It's so good. That's another, well, it's not really like Cinderella. Kind of. So that's another list of movies I need to make you watch. That's pretty good. I mean, I don't really know what else to say other than it has Anne Hathaway. There you go. That one is her godmother. I guess, I don't know if it's like I don't think it's every girl, but she has a godmother, and whenever she was born, the godmother gave her a gift, but her godmother's notorious for giving really bad gifts. And so she gave her the gift of obedience, meaning that she had to do whatever anybody told her. So if somebody was like, I want you to leave the room, then she would just get up. Like she would be compelled, I guess, to get up and leave. And so, as you can imagine,
like always tame with it, or was it like, give me everything in your wallet?
It gets kind of wild towards the end. Yeah. Yeah, it's like starts off bad. The whole thing is that nobody knows. Like it's only supposed to be her mom who died, and then her, like I said, like kind of like a nanny. Oh, it's the only people that know. But then, I mean, it's not hard to find out. Once you tell her to like get lost, and she, like something like that.
Oh,
I think they told her
funny.
like the girl told her.
Why don't you go take a hike, bro?
I think there was this one moment where it is, some of it's kind of funny. I think you would probably like it. It's like just a fun little movie. And there's this one moment where this guy tells her to like, well, you got to go hop to it, and then she just starts hopping, and they're like, what? So it's like stuff like that.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Or somebody tells her to freeze while she's jumping, and she literally like freezes in midair. Kind of
go
like
shit yourself,
like that.
bro.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine how much of a nightmare that would be? But that's a good one, solid movie. And the last one, I already lost it. What was it? Fuck. Oh, a new one called that I've never seen. It's not new. It's new to me. I've never seen, called Practical Magic. Have you heard of it?
No.
With Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman. I'm sure if you saw the poster, you would recognize it.
Yeah. Okay.
And
yeah.
it wasn't that good. I didn't really like it. A lot of people like love it, but I didn't really care for it. I just had this like expectation of where the story was going to go, and it didn't go that way. And so I just didn't really care for it, which could be my fault, but yeah, that's all I watched. A lot of comfort movies. I did not watch The Family Tree when I was supposed to watch, but I will watch it for next week.
Lame.
I mean, we need the time to talk about the This Is Us trailer, so.
Yes, we do.
All right, what did you watch?
I watched a lot. I've been watching a lot of movies. So I won't give a lot of thoughts on all of them, but I watched the Forever Purge. Never seen any other Purge. Just watched that one because
Really?
Yeah, that's the first one I've seen.
The second one is surprisingly good.
Which one's
Just
that
go up
one?
to 1 and 2. I don't remember. I think, I don't know, but the first Purge is fine. The second one is pretty good, surprisingly.
The only reason I watched it is because T-Mobile Tuesdays gave out like a free one night rental for Redbox, and I was looking, and I don't know how they're still in business, because they have like, I mean, I kind of get it because they have like a lot of older movies, like they had like Avengers Endgame, but
it's on Disney Plus.
It just seems super odd that they're still kicking.
Well, they also have. I think eventually they'll get rid of the machines because they have a streaming service.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. It's like where you rent it just on.
That's pretty lame.
Yeah.
Because you do that pretty much anywhere. But I gotta say, I was feeling in a really weird mood after watching Tick, Tick, Boom.
Mm-hmm.
And I just needed to pick me up, so I watched What If again.
Oh, I love that movie. It's so good.
I loved it. Adam Driver, he's like the best part in that movie.
You know, I saw this one. I don't think I sent it to you, but this girl did like a fan cast of X-Men if they were to do it again. And the girl, she said she doesn't think it would be a smart idea to replace Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, but if you did, then she would think that Daniel Radcliffe would be a good Wolverine, which I thought was interesting.
Well, because Wolverine is short.
That's like what I think king. She said. Like we could get a short king finally.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that, but I don't know. I think he needs to be more things.
Yeah, he could definitely do it. I think he could get some nice chops.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Project X because I had always heard about that movie, never seen it. And
Sash and I were in the middle of watching it the other day.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Had you seen it before? Was that your second viewing?
A long time ago. I saw it in theaters when it came out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought it was going to be like a chronicle, like somehow they get superpowers or something.
Yeah, it would have been better.
Well, because that's like the same like found footage or like
I think it might be the same people that made it, but maybe not.
I could see that, just like the way it's shot.
Mm-hmm.
Very same like color palette, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, they tried to make it more than just like a high school like kick-ass party by like throwing in more like characters, like more arcs, like the whole love
weird
love interests, that whole drama just didn't work for me. I just saw straight through it, honestly.
Do you want to know a fun fact about the movie that Sebastian found out? Because we saw that Miles Teller is just like in it as himself, right?
Yeah.
And so he looked up, like he was like, I wonder what the cast looks like now, and they basically look exactly the same. But I think he said like everybody except for maybe a few people. No, I think it was everybody. Everybody, like every actor in the movie, they had their like same real name. Like all their names were their actual names.
Right.
But yeah, sorry, that was it.
That's funny. Yeah, it was kind of surprising because he like shows up in a convenience store and he's just like, Miles Teller. I was like, all right, whatever. Then I also watched The Rocker, which I gotta say, it does have pretty much the same premise as School of Rock. You know, the whole I was kicked out of a band and now I gotta find a new one, even though I've like sworn off music.
Yeah.
But the music in this one is just absolutely solid.
I need to watch that. Where did you watch it?
I think on Prime or HBO.
Okay. It's never on anything. Okay.
It's on Prime.
I'm watching that tomorrow. I fucking love that movie.
You definitely should, because like I said, the music is fantastic. It's just like a feel-good movie. And I think my favorite song is Bitter. Love that one.
Man, I don't remember. I have to watch it.
You do. Honestly, a lot of the songs are like
Isn't Emma Stone in that?
Yeah.
She is, right?
Yeah. Josh Gad, Jason Sudeikis for some reason, and he's really funny in it.
Oh man, I forgot that they were in that. All right,
Yeah,
I'm sold.
definitely watch it. Then I watched Promising Young Woman on HBO
all right.
Max.
Very interested to see what you think.
So I really liked it. I thought it was.
I think it's a fantastic movie.
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. I normally look at like Letterboxd reviews, and just to see what the general discourse was, or is for movies. Not
it was
good.
A shit show when that movie came out. Yeah.
Not good. I honestly.
I don't get it though.
I didn't know that so many people didn't like it. Like it had a lot of negative reviews. I was like, okay, giving it 4 stars or whatever I gave it.
I love it.
I thought it was great. I think Bo Burnham's character, like the whole twist on his arc, it caught me by surprise, but not entirely, because I think I knew maybe like 10 minutes before you actually find out what his character did.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was like exactly what the director wanted me to think. But the very end, that whole sequence I thought was fantastic, because I did not see that coming whatsoever.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. I think that's, people always blame, from what I think happened is it's the whole like people blaming the marketing, thinking they were going to get like a girl boss movie. And it turned out to be, where she like avenges her friend perfectly. And then it obviously didn't end up that way. But I don't think the movie ever wanted to do that. I think people just, I don't know. Movies are experiences. And like, that was the experience.
Yeah, I thought it was very well cast. Like all the guys. Oh my God. Like amazing. The just creepy guys were funny.
Well, did you read about like why she cast them that way? Like why she cast certain people in like the roles they were in?
No, I did not.
So like, I think, I'm pretty sure she did this specifically. But if you think about like all of the men in the movie that were cast, they're all typecast as like the funny guys, or the like, like the guy that was a New Girl, or Max Greenfield, Bo Burnham, like the soft, nice guys, or like the guy that was in Werewolves Within. Disarming. Is that what you say? Like disarming men. So like people that you feel like you can let your guard down, like McLovin, like all the,
right.
It was very intentionally cast as men that you have, at the media has kind of like either on purpose or just in a way, like that's just how they were typecast, has built you to trust, and they're pieces of shit. So, like, I think it's a really smart... That's why I think this movie is so intentional. People make it seem like she just, like, at the end of the movie, she just didn't know what to do, so she just did that. But I feel like everything is so intentional that... and that's, like, such a good example of it. Of, like, she wanted you to trust these men when you see them and then be like, oh, shit, they're pieces of shit.
Right.
Yeah. Even from the lawyer. Wasn't that... What's his name?
Oh, Alfred Molina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's, at least to me, he's always seemed like, like in the movies I've seen him in, even when he's like Dr. Octavius, he's still like has a warmth to him. And in this movie, he's like kind of a reformed dirtbag, like, I don't know. I fucking love this movie. The imagery is beautiful. I could talk about this movie for hours. I fucking love it.
Yeah. Just a little bit more on the ending. Cause I think the director wanted you to think was like, yeah, nothing else is going to happen. She's dead. All these people are going to just live happy lives after that. And I think even that, even if the movie ended then, is still powerful, or just a strong message, because, even though she did all that, the people who hurt her and her friend still, got away with it. I think that's realistic.
But who's to say they won't still?
Right.
We don't see them get sentenced. So.
Very good point. Good movie. I really liked it.
I loved it. I love that movie so much.
And
I mean, I don't know. There's like a whole conversation about like, I would think so, but I think there's a whole conversation too about just what exactly like people, I don't think she was ever going to get any sort of ending that she was satisfied with, and I think that was the point. That the actual satisfaction would be her friend not to have been raped and died because of it. So there's no like good solution to what happened, and I think like that's the point. But
right, and if she planned for that, like as an audience member, why are you upset? Saying like that just seems weird to me. But
I don't know. I think there's a lot of other opinions I don't want to discount. Like I think it was a very like triggering movie to a lot of people, and stuff
for
like
sure.
that. But I don't know. I can't speak to that, so I don't know. Glad you liked it. Anything else you watched?
Yeah, 2 more. Isle of Dogs. I watched. Solid movie. Definitely don't like it as much as his other animated movies.
Yeah.
Fantastic Mr. Fox. But it was good. It was a fun story. I liked the ending. Have you seen it?
I think I've tried to watch it multiple times and I just can't do it. It's really boring to me.
Yeah, I fell asleep, I think, the first time I watched it. Not because I don't think that speaks to how I feel about the movie. It was just like at a weird time that I watched it where I was exhausted. But I found it to be, I really liked Chief's story, for those of you who have seen it in its entirety. And Wes Anderson hits the mark every single time. I don't, like, mad props to him for continuing to impress. So I'm excited to see his last 3 movies, because I think I've watched 7. So there's that. And then last night I watched Minding the Gap.
That's a documentary, right?
Documentary about 3 skateboarders, just growing up and their like trauma, coping with it. And I mean it's just like so much of that and so much more. And I haven't logged it yet because I still have to think about what I want to say about it, because there's like I relate to this movie so much, and I think it's definitely changed my brain, and I think it's a very important movie. If you haven't seen it, honestly, if you don't want to watch The Beach Bum, I'm okay with that. Watch Minding the Gap. It's on Hulu.
Okay.
Because I think it's and like I honestly haven't seen that many documentaries, but this is like definitely the best, but also just an amazingly shot film, because it was the cinematographer was also the like director. So
okay.
And I feel so fortunate that Kayla like picked it out at random, because we were I forgot where we were.
Oh, you have the Criterion, right?
Yeah, so I was at Barnes & Noble's and I had picked out a couple of movies, and I was like, hey, just like pick one out and I'll get one for us. And she picked that one up just because of the cover and read the back, and she was like, I think you would love this. So shout out to Kayla, because I did love it.
Did she watch it with you?
No, she didn't.
She was like, but I won't.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I got.
All right.
As far as movies. This is us.
Okay, I have first need just to complain, and then we can talk about it.
Yeah, I was going to complain.
Why was the fucking don't ever give me a trailer and have a minute and a half be clips from whatever I've already fucking seen.
How dare they?
Are you kidding me?
They need us to give us more.
As soon as I was like, I told Sebastian, this is a clip special, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. And it was like 10 seconds of actual like new footage. And it might be because they're not still shooting. It comes out on the 4th. I'm pissed. I'm so mad.
Yeah, I was very excited because I had just sent in the Discord saying that the weekend after Thanksgiving is just an empty void. Like nothing exists, and you sent that the trailer was out. And I watched it, and I mean, I'm still excited regardless.
Well, yeah.
But it was just like, I've seen all this, man.
I've seen Randall's breakdown like 5 times. I don't give a shit anymore. And Rebecca talking about how she's losing her memory. I get it. We know. We've been talking about it the whole season.
2 seconds in, she's like, I'm losing my memory.
Is that why I have to watch? That's how they're gonna make us like be okay with watching memories from a season we've already fucking seen. As soon as the first thing to show to was Toby's face, Sebastian and I were like, "Fuck you."
Oh yeah, that was like some new footage. Oh no, it wasn't even new.
It wasn't new. It was old. We didn't see Toby. We saw Kate crying. The only notable thing I remember is Kate crying and then her new husband just like looking at her and smiling.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, like what?
Odd.
Very odd. I think that was like the newest thing, right? Or she was talking about her and Jack were like, or she was like, we're gonna make new memories with the kids and we're like new child actors because the other ones are too old now.
Yeah, there was that. There was Rebecca was talking at the beginning saying like choosing what she wants to remember. She wants to remember the little things. And in her glasses, the reflection, there was something. I don't know what it was.
Ooh. You know what I was thinking?
I tried to see it, but I couldn't.
You can finish this tweet and put it on the Brother Sister Show, but like I was thinking like, how is there no like Marvel investigator for This Is Us? Can they send somebody from their like squadron, or what do you call them? Can you send somebody from their what do you call like FBI agents? Team?
Like an agent? Like a squadron?
No, but like don't they have like a like a precinct?
Oh,
what do you call them? Send somebody from the Marvel precinct to This Is Us, please. Because what's going on? I need to know something.
There's like no rumors. There's no leaks.
Nothing. What the fuck? This is what I want leaks for.
You know, I think I was onto something with that eyeglass reflection. I might have to investigate a little bit further.
You should do like, I think that'd be very funny to do like a frame by frame of just the parts where that's new, and it'll be like 2.
Oh, so it was that, and then they were doing like Big 3 or something, because I don't think I've ever seen that.
That's not new.
Oh.
When they were sitting on a bench.
Yeah, and they were doing this or something?
No, it's probably after. I think that was whenever What's-His-Face is in therapy or something. Or at rehab. I mean, that's not new. Like, there was nothing new. I was so mad. But I was like, of course I'm going to watch this fucking show. It's the last season. And I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry so fucking hard. You know how they had watch parties. I don't know what the fuck I was about to say. You know they had watch parties for Game of Thrones? That's what we need that for this.
Amphitheater.
Like a B-dubs. No, I'd like Olive Garden. Like a place that you're already like primed to cry, you know. Cheesecake Factory. Chili's is good. Oh, yeah, that's really good. On every screen, or in Applebee's. No, the Chili's is more respectable.
Yeah. And not even on like the TVs, just like the ones that are at the tables.
Yeah. They're like, we don't want people to know that we let your kind into our
where it has like, you know, Cheeto grease from the kids that like always play the stupid games on it.
Yeah.
That would be perfect.
And then they're like, you also have to pay the bill on there, so can you wipe your tears from the screen and then get that handled for us, please?
Don't forget to fill out the
this
survey.
Is a show I can't watch. Yeah, there you go. I can't watch that show in public.
Oh, yeah.
I would definitely cry, and I can't cry in front of people.
I'd have to kill them.
In front of my dog. Yeah.
Yeah, so January 4th, you said?
Yeah, I think so. January 4th, which is a Tuesday.
Damn. So. That's going to be good. There's a lot of good
This
stuff.
is true. It's the only show that I except for last season, but the only show that I wait, like I watch it that night. I'll like refresh Hulu to see if it's on. Honestly, I might watch it live. Now that I have Spectrum. But yeah, that, and I think Harry Potter, the reunion thing. I thought it was, so Sebastian told me it was coming out 2022. I think we had this conversation where it was coming out 2022, and I thought he meant like, you know, the end of the year. It's coming out January 1st.
Yeah, they have to be all dramatic about it.
Wait till 2022.
You're going to have to wait a whole nother year, man.
That'd be the first thing I watch in the new year. Yeah, there's that. What else?
That's the only like show I'm excited to watch.
Yeah, me too.
Or want to watch at the moment. Like I want to watch Succession, but I just feel like it just takes
I need to watch the new episode.
Brain power that I'm just
It is. There's so many insults. There's a lot of bad words.
I've heard.
This Is Us wouldn't dare. It's so good, though. The finale of season 2, I think.
Like, I know I think I'm just going to say what my parents are saying, or our parents are saying, that they're just waiting for season 3 to finish so they can just binge it all. I'll just
psychotic. So they told me that. I was like, are you kidding? Like, what? Why?
I feel like at a certain point you can start watching it and it will take you, like, season 3 will finish by the time you get there. Mom and
Dad, they're insane. They'll watch an entire show in like 2 days.
I forgot about that.
I did watch an entire show. I watched a show called Dope Sick. It's about the opioid crisis, and it made me mad.
TMG, Noelle was talking about it.
Oh yeah. I fast forwarded through that because I was like, I don't know if this will make me not want to watch it, but I almost didn't want to watch it because I was at Mom and Dad's when they started watching the first episode, and I was like, this show is just gonna make me angry, and it did, but it was good.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton, you like him, right? He's pretty good in it.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good actor. He's Batman.
Mhm. He's pretty good. Yeah. All right. Ready to... Before we... Oh, wait, never mind. I'll do it later.
Okay.
I was going to say, do you want to say Grace? And I was going to say Father, Son, and House of Gucci.
Not yet. That can wait.
No, I already did it. I already blessed this episode.
It is blessed. But let's get to a break. When we get back, Encanto and House of Gucci.
A young Colombian girl has to face the frustration of being the only member of her family without magical powers in Encanto. Directed by Jared Bush, Byron Howard, and Charisse Castro-Smith. Story by Byron Howard, written by Charisse Castro-Smith and Jared Bush. Why not? That was such a weird way to put that. Starring Stephanie Beatriz? Why did I say it like that? How do you say that? Beatriz?
Sure. I'm just gonna. I like letting you struggle sometimes.
And I never want to edit it. I want people to know how hard I struggle for this. Okay, starring Stephanie Beatriz. Why am I saying that so weird? Beatriz, Maria Cecilia Botero, and John Leguizamo.
That is hilarious. Critics gave it a
How do you say that?
A 7.7 out of 10 on IMDb, a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. And for some reason, Google gives, like, Facebook. Like, the Facebook.
Okay, what are they saying? What are the people saying?
4.7 out of 5. But more importantly, Letterboxd, on Letterboxd, it has an average of 3.8 stars.
Oh. Okay.
Not super high.
Oh, I thought that was pretty high.
It's pretty high.
What did I give it on Letterboxd? I gave it a 3, but I kind of want to... I think 3 is fine. I said animation was stunning, but I didn't care for the music. My overall review.
I gave it 3.5. I had a fun time watching it. I have Coco up because, I mean, I forgot who it was, but someone said that they liked this more than Coco, and I felt disrespected.
Well, you know what they say. Latinos are a monolith, so it doesn't matter.
There you go.
Alrighty. Well, I have just a few notes for this. I have a couple of fun facts, but my first thing, first, like the positives. This is another movie I wish I would have seen when I was younger.
Oh, for sure.
For so many different reasons. Like there's so many different, this is the first movie I've seen that showcases so many different skin types, like skin colors of Latinos. Like that doesn't really, that's not seen a lot, especially in animation, which is wild because you make them. So like you can choose what they look like, and a lot of different hair types. And that was my favorite thing, is just seeing curly hair animated. I feel like, oh God, did you let me breathe?
Is that you? I thought it was like Randall crying.
It was me. I have like congestion I think I'm catching a cold that Sebastian has. So excuse me if I'm wheezing. What did I say? Oh yeah, I feel like back in the day they didn't want to, like, every girl in a movie, or anybody. I mean, guys have curly hair too, but like especially girls, because there's so much hair. But they always have like straight hair and never have any sort of texture to it, or any type of other, curl or texture or anything like that. And so it's so wild. I think they did that because they were lazy, is what I'm saying. And it's so wild to see it now. And the hair looked amazing. That's why I said the animation was stunning. And the outfits, like how I just want everything that, what was her name? Mirabelle? I want everything that she wore throughout the movie because it was so pretty. And the accents were all great and on point. We'll get back to that. They were all, it seemed like they were in the same fucking country is what I'm saying. And yeah, I don't know. I just like that. Especially even within the same family, how they all look so different. Loved it. So I like the animation. That's like my big positive.
Yeah, I really liked, I think all the characters except for the grandma. The grandma really upset me because, like, what was her gift?
She's putting this fucking family together, and she won't let you forget it.
Because, like, they gave
Mirabelle, like, I am the gift, motherfuckers.
So much shit, but the grandma specifically, and like she didn't have any gift, so very, very hypocritical.
Hypocritic.
Yeah, that's a word.
Hypocritical.
I didn't like that. I really liked the house though, like the
casita.
Yeah,
I liked it too. I loved the sound of the tiles whenever they would move like up and down. I fucking love that sound. So for me, for the negatives, to get straight into that, like I said, I don't have a lot of notes, but I like the concept overall. I love the powers thing. I thought that was really cool, how they were so different. I feel like something was missing from the story though, from the plot. Like I was waiting for some sort of adventure to happen. I wanted, like, I don't know. I wanted Mirabelle to get some sort of powers. Like it felt like a fuck you at the end, that they were like, you put the house back together and this is all because of you. We're not going to give you any powers though. So,
yeah, that's whatever. What I turned to Kayla and I was like, is she not?
She doesn't get anything?
She still doesn't have powers? Like, that's kind of messed up. But I would have been cool if her thing was that she controlled the magic, because that's what I thought they were going to do, because it felt like every time she was upset, like the house was cracking.
I thought that her power would have been that she's the reason that Casita even like works. That the house, like, it has its own, like, it's kind of its own character, but it's basically an extension of her because she takes care of everybody. And so does Casita. But they don't really, I don't know if they just alluded to that and it just like was lost on me, but it felt like they didn't really do anything significant with that.
No, but like the house was magical even before she was born.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Or maybe maybe like she made it better. Maybe she made it more structurally sound. I don't know. Like that's what I thought it had something to do with that. But I still kind of don't understand like why. Maybe you can like enlighten me. But you know how everybody was like, like Bruno, all these people were like, oh, it's because like you hold us together. It's, you whatever. And I was like, what does she do? I didn't understand that at all. Like the whole scene by the lake, whenever we see like the grandma's trauma, and she was like, I get it now. And I was like, what? I don't get anything. What's happening? Like, am I dumb? Like, I didn't get that, where she was like, and also there was some sort of tension between the grandma and Mirabelle, but it didn't feel like it happened throughout. So I was like, it feel like a fight just happened like out of nowhere.
Right.
I don't know.
She just had,
and then like what was the solution? I don't understand that. It just seemed like, oh well, now that we're not fighting, we can go back and build the house. Like what?
Yeah, and then it just seemed like that everyone else needed to be humbled because like they were, all high and mighty because they had powers. It would have been cool if like none of them had powers after that.
That's what I thought they were going to do. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Or I thought maybe that the whole thing is that they're supposed to give up some sort of, like, you know, they're super powerful, but maybe they're supposed to give up a little bit of their power to give Mirabelle one. That would have been more interesting.
All this is more interesting, which I think is probably this movie's biggest flaw. Because if you can create something that would be more interesting, like,
it's already,
yeah. But I think it's, like you said, it's very important for young Latinos to see basically The Incredibles, like, but that look like you. So I think this movie, despite its flaws, like plot-wise,
I think it was, I think this is speaking as, like, obviously, I don't know if this movie was made for kids, but I would assume it is. But as a kid, I'm sure, like, it's a solid movie. It's, you know, it's entertaining. It tells a really good story of, like, don't be too harsh on yourself and your family. And it is a good cultural story. I really liked how they dealt with, like, you know, the strong sister. Like, that is such a big thing that happens, especially with Latinos with their kids. A lot is put on them just in our culture. And so I do like that they put, you know, that the theme, or like the not theme, what am I trying to, like, I guess the theme that they're telling is very culturally rooted. I liked that. I wish they would have went a little bit more, like, a little further into that, though.
Was she the oldest? Because that's, like, I feel,
I would assume so,
very spot on. Because, you know, traditionally,
I think so.
The oldest has a lot on their plate.
Yeah.
But I thought it was pretty funny too. Like, every time Bruno was on screen, it was just funny.
I liked him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably the best part.
And he was the only actor I knew, like, as soon as he started talking on who that was.
Yeah.
The other people, I had no idea.
Exactly. Especially the main character. I did completely.
I couldn't even say her fucking name, but I know who that is. I just can't say her name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, another thing is, my last thing is, I didn't like the songs. I don't remember any of them. The only one I kind of liked was the one that the strong sister did, but it was kind of cringy.
Yeah, I don't really.
But it was Lin-Manuel. He's kind of cringy. Good for him, though.
Yeah, he's had some good stuff come out this year.
Truly.
Truly.
Well, that's all I have to say about this movie.
Same here. Go see it.
All right.
Yeah, it's definitely a solid watch. Oh, we saw it in the theater together. This is both of these movies we saw over the break, which was
cool. All right. So, fun facts. Mirabelle is the first female Disney protagonist to wear glasses. Isn't that fucking wild?
That is.
That's another thing.
And I really liked her glasses.
I loved her glasses. I want everything that she had. Mm-hmm. Like, all of her clothes, her glasses, loved it. So the word Encanto comes from Spanish, which means charm, spell, or enchantment. It is both used as a way to tell a magic incantation and as an adjective for sweetheart. According to character designer Dylan Ekren, the artist had to fight for Luisa to be buff, which is fucking, like, of course, why would she not be buff? But I see why they wouldn't want her to, because she's a woman. I'm glad she was, and I'm glad she had a deeper voice. Love that.
That's lame that they had to fight for that.
Stupid. I know. All right. Most of the Latin voices are from Colombian-born or Colombian descent actors. That is also very rare to see, because, like I said, as a joke, Latinos are kind of seen as a monolith. So I was expecting, like, mostly Mexicans or Spaniards. So in the Family Madrigal song, one of the kids is having a cup of coffee. Then when they're all getting excited to see Mirabelle, he says it's impossible to relax, and Mirabelle takes his coffee cup and says that's why coffee's for grown-ups. But this is not the case in Colombia. Coffee in the morning is traditional for children in Colombia and other South American and European cultures. I wondered why they had a kid drinking coffee, because he always had coffee with him. But I think that's very funny. All right, last one. Olga Merediz provides the singing voice for Abuela. Do you recognize her voice, her singing voice?
No.
So she previously played another Abuela, Claudia, in both the Broadway and film versions of Lin-Manuel Miranda's In the Heights. She was Abuela.
Oh.
It clicked as soon as I read that. I was like, oh, yeah. She sounded familiar.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
There
That's
you
good.
go. I liked their last name, too. Madrigal.
That is a dope-ass name.
All right.
Is it as cool as Gucci, though? What a segue.
Let us
What a
find
segue.
out. Wow. Very good. Let's take a moment for that. Moment of silence. All right. Father, Son, and House of Gucci.
Let's go.
That's the only good thing that came out of this movie. All right. You ready?
Let's do it.
Oh, man. Another name. Okay. When Patricia Reggiani, an outsider from humble beginnings, marries into the Gucci family, her unbridled ambition begins to unravel their legacy and triggers a reckless spiral of betrayal, decadence, revenge, and ultimately murder in House of Gucci. Directed by Ridley Scott, based on the book by Sarah Gay Forden, written by Becky Johnston and Roberto Bentivenga, starring Lady Gaga, Adam Driver, and Al Pacino. How they got Al Pacino in this movie, I'll never know.
Critics gave it a 7 out of 10 on IMDb, a 62% on Rotten Tomatoes,
Too high.
and on Letterboxd it has an average of 3.2 stars.
Too high.
I give it a 3.
I gave it a 2, but I feel like that's too high.
But I gotta say, like I said, we saw this Thanksgiving Day.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably the most pleasant viewing experience I've had in a while. Because like when I got there, because we saw it at the Draft House.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know that, but for the audience.
Yes.
Tell
Tell me more.
We got there, sat down, like everyone was like chatting, and like it was a pretty packed theater, and it just felt like I was like, the movies are back, man. Like it felt like a good experience. And it's like throughout, you know, like everyone was laughing and crying.
Crying? Those people crying?
No, I'm just messing around. But like it, like
I shed a tear when they murked Adam Driver. Spoilers.
Senor Gucci.
That's the last thing I want to hear when I die.
Senor Gucci. But I just wanted to preface.
Oh yeah, I guess I didn't really think about that, but that was a really cool. It did feel like a classic movie going experience. I don't know why it took me so long to say.
I wish it was
a
for
lot
a
of
better
people,
movie, but
yeah, I still had a good time. I think I just was mostly like, what is going on? I know a movie is like, I know it's bad when I halfway through I look at Sebastian and I was like, what's happening? What is going on?
yeah.
Sorry, I have a cough drop because I don't want to keep coughing. Sorry if you can hear it.
You're fine. I think this movie's biggest flaw for me is
Jared Leto? Oh, sorry.
Jared Leto, 100%. Excuse me. The second biggest flaw in this movie is just like the weird editing as far as like the time jumps. That
and just the editing in general. There was one part, and I want to just watch it if it comes on a streaming service or if it like is on Blu-ray. I just want to buy it just to see, just to like check my fucking brain. Because there's one part where I think it's where Adam Driver's talking to Jeremy Irons, and he's like in the middle of talking, and I think he's laughing, and he doesn't even get to finish his laugh when it cuts. And I was just, I was like, what the? Am I crazy? Was that not like such a harsh edit? Like, why would you cut it there?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say it wasn't like that throughout. I feel like some parts where, you know, it's pretty clear, like when just full spoilers.
I mean, it is a historical event, so I mean,
when Jeremy Irons' character dies, and you like see him in the casket, like that's fair. Like you knew he was gonna die, and that's like a logical.
I kind of liked that.
Yeah, because he's like just like laying there, in his like open casket. That's a fair time jump, but I feel like everything else, for the most part, just didn't make a whole lot of sense and took way more brain power to understand than I feel like was necessary. Maybe that's just me being dumb.
No, like how long was Al Pacino in jail? You could 2 weeks, 2 years. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, they said it.
I have no idea.
But even then, it also like their whole relationship, Adam Driver and Lady Gaga, felt very quick. I don't know how long they were together.
Yeah, find me two actors that have worse chemistry. I dare you.
He
had better chemistry with Daniel Radcliffe. Sorry, go on.
Honestly, yes. They were amazing best friends. It just, the entire timeline of this movie could have been a year or 5 or 15.
Yeah, I truly don't know.
Don't know what the goal was.
And the beginning was so awkward. Like, there's some times where a movie is so, like, I have such a harsh opinion about a movie in the first, like, 20 minutes that I don't know if it's just me. Like, maybe I have a bad mood or I don't know. I did just, like, I won't say it. Never mind. So, I don't know. I was like, maybe it's in the, like, the mind state I'm in. But the first 20 minutes of them meeting and her, like, stalking him, it just felt so fucking awkward. Like, the scene where they're at the bookstore, I just wanted to, like, close my eyes. Because it was so awkward. And I don't know if it was just because of them. Because, you know, he was like, do you study here? And she was like, no, I don't really like to read. What are you studying? And he was like, didn't know what to say. And for a second, I thought he was going to be like, oh, I also don't read. I don't study here. And I thought he also stalked her. It was just like, I was so confused about their dynamic. And it was so awkward. Nobody seemed like they were even on the same fucking planet, let alone the same movie set. So strange. So very strange.
Well, I think it's the editing that made me think this, but it felt like the shortest 12-hour movie I've ever seen because it felt so long.
Yeah, it truly did. And then if you ask me what happened, I'm like, they went skiing. I don't know. Like, I truly don't know what happened. And there was no progression of her becoming an asshole. And I was like, did they want us to, or her becoming crazy, right? Like, I feel like there's movies that do this really well where, like, they gradually start to, like, the fame and the money and all that shit gets to their heads. But there was no time put into, like, us seeing that. So it just felt like she was the same one-dimensional person throughout. And she just, like, Adam Driver was just, like, didn't want to fuck her anymore.
Right.
Like, it didn't feel like there was any sort of break in their relationship. They just were like, oh, it seemed like he was like, well, I just don't really want to be with you. Not that he was devastated that she destroyed his family.
Yeah, because if, like, from the get-go, it felt like she was always that person who wanted the best for him and was going to do whatever it took to, like, even if it hurt his family, like, she wanted the best for them.
And I liked that dynamic at first because I was like, oh, I mean, I can kind of, as you can imagine, I can identify with, you know, being annoying and being the talker and being able to weasel my way into things and having a partner that's very quiet, that's very thoughtful, very subdued. I like that dynamic because I can recognize it. And, you know, I can sometimes, like her, I can sometimes be a little too much, or I can be too pushy, or I can be too aggressive. And, you know, my partner has to pull me back. So I liked that at first, but I was like, it doesn't feel like it's moving in any sort of direction where, like, she's getting more aggressive and he's getting sick of it. It just felt like they were the same couple, and Ridley Scott was like, okay, it's the scene where you guys break up, and they're like, oh, what? Like, we were supposed to, like, hate each other now? Like, it just felt so out of nowhere that he gave her a gift card to fucking Nordstrom or whatever. Like, that was the break, you know? I don't know. It just felt very strange to me.
Yeah.
Nothing felt earned. But let's talk about Jared Leto for a second.
Yeah.
Because I sent you do you want to say, I forgot what TikTok I sent you, what they said about Jared Leto.
Oh, yeah. Essentially, I don't remember who it was, but they were saying that Jared Leto just acts for the members of the Academy. like just people who vote for the Oscars. Like
he's like, this is for y'all. He should just say that before he goes into any scene. Yeah, I don't want to watch that. I'm like, okay, I can skip through this.
It honestly it like blew my mind because it's so blatant that he's like,
it's so bad. And so my note, and I think I don't know if this is like new. I don't think I figured anything out, but I figured out what I don't like about him, because I like when actors like throw themselves into roles. A good example is Andrew Garfield. He put his entire fucking foot, pussy, everything into Tick, Tick, Boom. He did everything he possibly could, but it was so good because he put himself, he like threw himself into that role and he really like went with it. Jared Leto, I think he thinks what he thinks he's doing what Andrew Garfield's doing, when in reality he's just trying way too fucking hard.
Yeah, he's trying way too hard. And I think like Andrew Garfield, you know, Christian Bale, like all those actors who like really go for it, they don't let them like their own character like bleed into it. And I think it's in like that sense of trying way too hard, because I think that's Jared Leto is just trying way too hard and letting the characters speak for themselves.
Let me give you my take on who Paolo was when he's a real fucking person and you made him seem like a fucking idiot. So okay, that's one thing. I was like, maybe he actually is like this. I know nothing about the guy, but I found a quote from Tom Ford, who I didn't even realize, you know, at the end when they bring in an American designer, I didn't realize, and well, they say it towards, you know, the end of it that it's Tom Ford. I was like, oh, okay, because I asked Sebastian, I was like, do you know who that is? Like, am I supposed to know? That's what's so weird. They introduced him like we were supposed to know who he was, and I was like,
yeah, I had no
Levi?
idea.
I don't fucking know who that is.
It wasn't until the dinner, that they kind of introduced him.
So even he thought it was kind of goofy. So he said, quote, at times when and this is a man that actually, I don't know if he actually, I'm assuming he met most of the Guccis. So he said, quote, at times when Al Pacino was Aldo Gucci and Jared Leto was his son, I think it's Paolo, right? Paolo Gucci were on screen, I was not completely sure that I wasn't watching a Saturday Night Live version of The Tale, is what he said, which I think is the perfect way to put it. It was such an SNL like skit comedy, you know, sketch version of what these real people probably were. But even Al Pacino, I think Al Pacino was fine. I didn't think he was that bad. I think he was kind of, you know, he put his own spin. He put his own Al Pacino like spin on the character, but it wasn't like out of nowhere.
It wasn't really a caricature. Like he didn't make the character a caricature.
And I loved watching him. I don't know if it's just because I like Al Pacino, but I thought he was fine. I like him. But it was so embarrassing at a point. Like that whole scene where he picks him up from jail and he takes him to his house. I hated watching that entire scene. It went on way too fucking long.
Yeah, and
what kind of accent is that? Okay.
Oh yeah, we were talking after while we were walking to your car, saying it would have been hilarious if this is like the only research Chris Pratt does for his upcoming role.
I think Jared Leto. I think this was Jared Leto's audition for Mario, and I think somebody should tell him he didn't get the fucking role.
He could be Wario. He could be a mean Wario, I gotta say.
So, okay, I have a couple of jokes about the accents. Do you want to hear them? That I wrote today.
Okay.
So, well, first of all, I just, the first thought I had when I walked out of theaters is like, did nobody tell them that they should hire all the same accent coach? Because what the fuck was that? Second of all, so, you know, this entire thing about the accent made me think of that bit they do in Arrested Development where they all do really bad impressions of chickens. Like that's basically what this movie was, but with Italian accents.
Yeah.
And the entire time I kept thinking, like, has anybody ever met an actual Italian? Like, what the fuck is going on? All right, last one is this movie gaslit me into thinking I don't know what Italians sound like. I have no idea. If you asked me who was like the closest to it, I couldn't fucking tell you. Maybe Lady Gaga. I think she's Italian and has like, but I don't fucking know. I don't know. But those are my jokes about the accent.
That's really funny.
They were so like unbelievably bad. In my opinion, I'm not Italian. I don't know, but it was horrendous.
Yeah, there were some parts where it just wasn't consistent. Like Adam Driver's character, I forgot what point, but you see his hand and he's handing someone something, and it's just Adam Driver's regular voice.
I mean, in his defense, it's kind of hard to. His voice is so distinct. I feel like it's hard to like get out of it.
That's true.
But Lady Gaga, I didn't hear his a lot, but I heard Lady Gaga is slipping a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it sounded like French at one point. I don't know. It was very, very strange. In the editing too, there was a lot of scenes that lingered on for too long. Like not in a like artsy way, but just like you should have cut this. That's why I told Sebastian, I was like, this is kind of harsh, but I feel like we watched a cut of the movie that I was not supposed to see.
And I keep on saying that he's gonna release an extended cut.
Please don't do that.
I don't know about. It was already long. Like it was 2.5 hours or 2 hours and 38 minutes. I don't need anything longer because I don't know what else you could add.
Unless it's like 30 minutes of a Lady Gaga show, like live performance, I don't want it. Just don't. And just Adam Driver just sitting in the audience watching it, not even dancing. If it's not that, don't put it in the movie. Clapping one time during Bad Romance. I don't want
it. What are you doing, Ridley Scott? I gotta see The Last Duel because I've heard
I need to see that movie, even though he was like he had a very annoying take on why it didn't do well, because he said like
phones.
Yeah, I don't know,
something
just
weird,
old people shit. I don't know. Maybe because you put Matt Damon and Ben Affleck in a movie you're supposed to take seriously. Maybe that's why Ridley.
They also have like baseball mullets.
Oh my god, it's so bad. I wanted to see that movie. I just don't know why I haven't. Oh, Adam Driver's in it, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in it. Why didn't
I watch that movie?
I chose something else instead of The Last Duel to watch. I think it came out the same weekend, and I chose something else.
Oh, that's probably when we couldn't leave Randy alone, so I didn't want to go. I don't know. I found there's a lot of articles on this movie. I found one about what the Gucci family thought of this movie. And then we can do some fun facts. So the heirs to the Gucci fashion, this is from, I'm just reading a snippet of a Hollywood Reporter article.
Oh, okay.
So the heirs to the Gucci fashion empire have panned Ridley Scott's House of Gucci drama and hinted at possible legal action. The Gucci family, or quote, the Gucci family reserve the right to take every initiative necessary to protect their name and image and those of their loved ones. The heirs of former Gucci chairman Aldo Gucci said in a statement published by ANSA, the Italian wire service, on its website on Monday. In a statement widely cited in Italian media, the Gucci family claims Scott and the producers of House of Gucci, quote, did not bother to consult the heirs of the fashion empire before portraying their family members as, quote, thugs, ignorant, and insensitive to the world around them.
Wow. That
I tend to agree. I'd be very upset if I was their family, especially if I was related to Paolo, because I can't imagine that's exactly like how he was. And Tom Ford said it wasn't. He said that the way he portrayed him was like not like so far off.
I feel like it would have made for a way better movie if they actually collaborated.
Yeah.
With also the family, because that was the most interesting part to me, was the actual story, towards the end. I will say that I think that's ultimately why I gave it 3 stars, is like it was shot pretty well. Some editing's questionable, but like the story itself, as someone who's never heard of this story, I think it was like
interesting.
Very interesting, yeah.
And I'm kind of mad we didn't get to see the sketches that he showed his uncle.
Yeah, we kind of saw some of them, but
I'm assuming it's because they're copywritten. They're copy. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, sure.
I'm assuming that's why, because I didn't know that they were not involved in this. I mean, I guess I could have assumed, but I'm assuming that's why.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah. Also, you know what? That's what I should have put on the board instead of boof, which is what Jared Leto's character said all the time. is beautiful gowns.
Beautiful
Costumes great. Like there was one, Sebastian said there was a watch, or he leaned over and told me there was a scene that Adam Driver was wearing this one watch, and Sebastian said it's very, very expensive, the one that he was wearing. I was like, man, that'd be so cool that's a movie I want to be on, is where I can just wear like Gucci the entire time. Yeah.
All
right.
That upsets me. Why would you not like consult the family, or at least their estate? Like
a lot of people do that. That happens all the time.
Oh, if I were to make a movie, it
would feel so wrong.
Yeah, especially to put that much like money into it. Like, why not tell the story right?
Yeah. I mean, unless you're doing something like, like a Social Network where you're basing it off of a book and you're kind of like, it's more for entertainment. But I don't know. Maybe I give that one a pass because it's entertaining.
Well, this is based off of a book too, right? That's what you said?
Yeah. But what I'm saying, though, is like, it feels like they did more creatively to make a succinct story. Because, like, it's hard to tell somebody's life or the building of something as big as Facebook in a linear story if you're not using some sort of creative device. And so if they're like, the fact that they use the depositions is such an interesting way, and like the cuts don't seem as harsh because the story is still being told in a cohesive and a coherent way. It just felt like this movie was like, he was like, oh, this story's cool, this one's interesting, I like this one, let's try to fit it somehow. And his writers are like, okay,
we'll throw in Wario.
Like there was no interesting way to tell the story, or even go like a Steve Jobs was it just called Jobs with Michael Fassbender, where it's it's like 3 scenes, right, or 2 events leading up to it. Was like the day of like when he released something with Apple, like the fact that they did that it would have been cool if they centered it around some of their shows, their fashion shows, or like an opening, like use a creative way to like tell the story. Don't just have Lady Gaga in like cool outfits and yelling at Adam Driver.
That's fair.
Yeah. All right. Some fun facts. So Angelina Jolie, Anne Hathaway, Marion Cotillard, Penelope Cruz, Margot Robbie, and Natalie Portman were all considered for the role of Patrizia. Do you think you would have preferred any of them? I think Marion Cotillard. I don't know if I would have preferred her, but I would have liked to see it.
Who's that?
How dare you? She's in The Dark Knight Rises. Ra's al Ghul's daughter.
Oh. Yeah, she would have been good.
Another one that's fucking weird. Salma Hayek, who was in this movie, is married to Francois and Henri, however you say that, Pinault, founder and CEO of the French multinational Kering, which owns the Gucci brand as of 2021. So her husband owns Gucci, and she's in this movie.
That is weird. Wow, what a small world.
Fucking rich. Lady Gaga's now famous line, "Father, Son, and House of Gucci," was improvised. This was confirmed during press leading up to the release of the film, as the line became quite popular from the original trailer.
From her? Like it was
I would
improvised?
assume so. And she's a genius.
Yeah, that's for that. Do you think Jared Leto will get an Oscar?
Fuck him. He's going to get a nomination, and I'm going to be pissed about it. That's what we need to do. If we can, I want to, like, on Discord, live stream our reactions to the nominations. Because I know I'm going to be pissed. I'm pissed every year. Let's make content out of it. All right, last one. This one is fucking hilarious. While Ridley Scott wanted Adam Driver for Maurizio, there were some scheduling issues at first. Do you want to guess? I don't know if you read it. Do you want to guess who he considered as backup in case Adam Driver couldn't free up his schedule?
Oh, God. No,
Okay, I will give you a hint. And it is somebody that is in the MCU.
Someone that's in the MCU? Kit Harington.
Oh, no, that would have been a good one. But no, that's 2 on the nose.
Too on the nose.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Holland.
Chris Evans.
Might as well have said Chris Pratt. What
exactly.
the heck?
Can you imagine? If it said Chris Pratt, I would have been like, we can't do this movie.
Why?
He was like, I
Chris
heard he can do a really
Evans?
good Italian accent. Chris Evans? I don't know, because he's from Boston. And they're like, that's close enough.
That's close enough. You know, it'd be funny if Chris Pratt was like the second, like a backup, and he just gets like typecast as like an Italian guy for some reason.
Somehow there's like a world where he's typecast as an Italian and a cat in the same go. I want to
so
make,
random.
I don't know how hard it is to make an IMDb trivia, but I want to like make a new one and be like, Chris Pratt was in talks to me, but he had to turn it down for the role of Mario.
Wow.
Another Italian icon.
Isn't
that weird?
That is weird.
I would have liked to seen it though.
I don't think I would have.
I would have guessed Sebastian Stan before Chris Evans.
Yeah. Yeah. That's weird. But I will say the like Lady Gaga does kind of look like
her
real life counterpart. Al Pacino kind of does too.
I think she did fine. Yeah.
But yeah, she did pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I want to compare, but because they're so different, but I like her in A Star Is Born a little bit better. But I feel like that role is more tailored to her strengths.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what she does after this, though. I think she has a long, not history. What am I trying to say? A long, like, career ahead of her in acting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think this will get her a lot more parts. Like,
which I'm happy about. I don't think it was her fault that this movie was so bad.
No, she was definitely a highlight of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
alrighty.
Let us know what you think, what you thought if you watched it. Join us on our Discord. You can find that at brothersistershow.com, as well as our Instagram, Twitter,
Past
pretty much
episodes, everything.
Yeah, you can even sort by like when we did like our own picks. Yeah. So go check it out. Yeah. Fun time. We'll see you next episode. Thanks for joining us for episode 103. Good timing.
Right on time.
Bye.